Okay, well, welcome to the BDSM podcast. Booze is there, Smoke&Meats, and I'm Professor Porkline. I'm here with my awesome co-host,
The Meat Viking.
and we are continuing our journey again. We kind of have part one of Ohio, and we're going to move on to part two of this nice journey that we're talking about. This great old state of Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
So we before we continue this nice little talk, we have to do the safe word. So what do we decide for today?
Walleye.
Yeah, the great old walleyes, which surprisingly enough, I never got a chance to go fishing for.
That's sad.
Well, it's always because the season was stupid early and it was always stupid cold, and I just didn't want to go out on a boat and freaking freeze my
Yeah.
dick off. So,
And back then, you and I were both also stupid poor.
well, that too. So, walleye is the safe word today. But do you have anything drinking today, or?
I am not. I have things that I need to be sober for to do later, so I am not having any alcoholic intake at this moment.
Bummer. Well, I was fortunate enough that the mother-in-law wound up coming back from her trip from Kentucky and gave me some beer. So, we talked about Kentucky. We did talk about one of my favorite breweries called Mirror Twin, and shout out to them. So I have 8 beers, 8 different beers that I get to try out this next couple days. And the one that I'm doing this morning is the You, Me, and Mr. PB. So it is a peanut butter stout, and man, this thing is delicious.
Dude, honestly, like I was very skeptical about peanut butter and beer, and I've proved to my taste buds that the skepticism was unvalid because every peanut butter porter, peanut butter whiskey I've had has been delicious.
Well, this one can go right onto that list, and it's got that nice chocolate flavor, and I feel like it kind of goes along with our Ohio theme of the Buckeyes
Yep.
because you can taste the chocolate, you can taste the peanut butter. I mean, the stout is just, and it comes in a 16-ounce can, which is even better.
Yep.
So, you, me, and Mr. PB enjoying the podcast today. So,
That reminds me of anytime I see like 16-ounce cans, I'm reminded of that scene from Lord of the Rings where it's like they come in pints.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, let's continue on. What's one of the first things that you got for Ohio that we can continue from our conversation the last episode?
So since we covered a lot of like famous Ohio foods and we talked quite a bit about Polish traditions with things like the pierogi, Tony Pacos, I think it's only fair that we start off with what's known as the Polish boy.
And not thinking about
Yep.
what the Polish boy
Yeah.
could be.
If
This
your
is a
Google
food.
history is impure in any sort of way, maybe type Polish boy food before you type Polish boy just to save yourself.
Don't want to mess up your algorithm, right?
No, 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 no. So, but I'm actually going to screen share this.
Yeah, look at that bad boy.
And so at first, I thought this was maybe like a ketchup. It's not, it's barbecue sauce. And under there, that's not onions, that is coleslaw. And it's not a traditional sausage or like a hot dog in that bun. It's actually a kielbasa. And so, yes, you have awesome meat, carbs, you got your vegetables from your coleslaw, and then you have glory sauce.
Not to be confused with the old glory hole
Yeah,
sauce.
depending on where you get your glory sauce from.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. So now I have not
Well,
had a Polish boy, but I can tell you this: that if it's anything like the kielbasa I pick up from the meat market, that is going to be really, really good kielbasa, and it's going to have like a nice garlic season to it. and I would definitely give this a shot.
Well, I mean, it's kind of close to just a regular po' boy, just a different variation of it. So,
Yep.
I mean, if you enjoy those type of meals, then I mean, you're going to enjoy this one too.
Yep.
And again, it kind of goes along with the whole entire thing that Ohio has a bunch of Polish, Hungarian immigrants that came a little bit earlier, so that that just goes right along with that whole entire culture. So, and if you want to know more about some of that stuff, we did talk about that in the last episode. Talked a little bit about the pierogies and some stuff like Tony Paco's in Toledo. So you can always listen to episode 1 of this and get more of some history on that too. But it's really interesting to think that these people just settled in Ohio, right?
Yep. No, I'm with you on that.
People are going west, right? They go, we'll just stop here. And then, okay, we created Ohio and the rest is history.
Exactly.
Out of all the places in the U.S., it was like Ohio. But you know what? I feel like there are worse places, right? Because remember we were talking about Mississippi,
and that was just miserable.
Yeah, well, and their theme is like, well, at least I'm not Mississippi.
Yep.
So it's like, well, at least I'm not Ohio. But one of the other things that we kind of talked about too, and this was off the stream here, was that there is a high Amish community and Amish culture too within Ohio, Pennsylvania. I know that we'll talk about that when we get to that in the next couple episodes. But the one thing I didn't realize that Ohio has, and it's that butter stirred festival. So just like Weird Al Yankovic in the Amish paradise, churning butter.
Yeah.
I think I totally get the understanding of why you'd want to bring light, because man, they have tons of different butters, right? I guess they've got like 100 vendors, and you can have garlic butter and all this other stuff. So I get the appeal of why you'd want to do something like that. But holy shit, can you imagine just going to a butter stirring festival and just seeing all these people costumed up and just sitting there looking like they're yanking their crank?
Dude, have you ever churned butter before?
Yeah, I have, man. That shit's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Like, I'm picturing. So there's another thing Ohio's known for, and I think you and I have talked about this before, but not on the podcast. But pretty much, if you are a power lifter or you want to maybe compete in strongman, the Shaolin Temple of powerlifting is in, I believe, Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, the Arnold Classic.
No, not that one. There's an actual gym. I forget the name of it. Oh, what's it called?
I mean, Gold's Gym is usually like the big standard, but
no, this is straight for strongmen and strongmen only. I think it might be like West Side.
Oh. Well, either way, I mean, I know the Arnold Classic's there, but with the one thing that I do know that Ohio has, and it has some of this too with that festival. And I'm trying to think of where you're going with this about how churning butter is probably just because it's like the strong man, you got to dip all that stuff in, right? Is that where you're going with that?
Oh yeah. Like, I'm picturing everybody at that butter churning festival should be built like strongmen.
But
I got the name of it. It's
butter.
West Side Barbell.
Okay, yeah. Well, I know one thing that I definitely know Ohio is known for is the apple butter. So I definitely know that if you're going into any of those Amish or Mennonite communities, that man, they come up with the best stuff.
They do.
So it's Man, I just didn't get a chance to go to that festival though when I was there. But I do know one that at least in Toledo, and I'm sure there's probably other ones too, but there's a place where you can go pick your own apples.
Yes, there's actually
And
one near us, and I'm going to ask the Shield Maiden of Meats real quick. What's the name of the place that we go to for picking apples? McQueen's.
yeah,
Yep.
I remember doing that one time. It was like October-ish, somewhere around there, because they also do pumpkins too, don't they?
Yeah. They do pumpkins as well.
Yeah, but the apples is pretty cool too.
So when we went to pick pumpkins one time, we they do these things where you can like get donuts. They had like a food truck out there, right?
Okay.
And they did these things called Sunday donuts. And I thought maybe they were just a donut or like a 6 pack of donut, different like kind of flavors. And you kind of like made like a little card out with what all you wanted it to be, right? No,
Yeah.
no, dude. It was almost like a full plate sized donut with every topping that you put on the card on said donut. It was so
Oh
good,
my God.
dude. It was so good. So, but I do want to just real quick give a shout out to Westside Barbell. Westside Barbell is an invitation only training lab where only the strongest of mind and body survive. They have this gym has broke over 140 world records. They've won Olympic gold and they are heavyweight world champions, just to name a few of the achievements from this gym. So that's what I mean by like if you are a power lifter or you want to compete in strongman, this is like the Shaolin Temple of if you were a monk, you would want to go to the Shaolin Temple. If you are a power lifter, you would want to try train at West Side.
Yeah.
So shout out to all the power lifters out there. If you guys listen to this podcast,
Get all that protein.
dude, I love powerlifting. I know you do too.
Yeah, I dabble in that.
Yeah.
But well, where's Waynesville, Ohio?
I've heard of it. I don't know where it's located off the top of my head. So let's see what Google's Maps has to say.
It's in the southern Ohio, but I don't know where.
Oh, it is about, I would say, an hour from Cincinnati. So southern Ohio.
Okay, I mean Cincy is basically on the border of Kentucky, so
Yeah.
it's going east.
Northeast.
Okay, so all right, I see. All right.
Yep.
Well, man, they have a freaking sauerkraut festival down there.
Ooh.
So every year in October, they wind up doing this and they serve like 600 pounds of sauerkraut to about 1,500 people. And
Oh.
I know it's because of, we've talked about that influence of the German, Polish, Hungarian, but man, I know even in Pennsylvania too that sauerkraut was a big thing. And holy crap, could you imagine going to one of those festivals?
No. I eat sauerkraut like once a year.
It's
So,
usually around New Year's.
yep.
At least it's one of the northern traditions.
Yep.
Down here in the South, they do the whole entire black eyed peas and
Mm-hmm.
that type of stuff.
Yep.
But it says here that it's pretty historic and it's become a huge home, or it's called the antique capital of the Midwest and the home of the Ohio Sauerkraut Festival.
Hmm.
They've been doing that shit for a long time, and Man, I gotta feel like that's got to be really cool the way that they hand out the prizes because they have, like largest head of cabbage. They do the best homemade sauerkraut. They've got a whole bunch of booths going down Main Street to sell all the stuff, including sauerkraut ice cream, which I don't know if I would want to try that.
Nah, nah, I'm with you on that. I think I might
That
pass on that.
that does not sound appetizing at all. Like there are some things that, ice cream can be paired with, and I think there are some times where you cross that line. And
Yeah.
sauerkraut ice cream has probably been that one where you cross that line.
Well, yeah, you know how like sometimes if you go to like the bigger creameries and stuff, they'll be like, you can have a taste or a sample. I might take a sample of it. I don't think I'd order a cup of it though.
Well, I guess I wonder if they just add a bunch of sugar to like make it sweeter, or if it still has that
Maybe.
tangy flavor,
I don't know.
you know? But either way, I mean, I wish I would have gone to this when I was up in Ohio, but it probably would have been a little bit of a drive from where we were living.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Cincy's like 4 hours, so if you're looking at
Yeah.
going the other way, you'd have to go through Columbus, and I'm sure it's probably like 5 hours to get down there.
Uh Google Maps said it'd be under 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you stay on 75 most of the way and then you just branch off. So I guess it depends on what traffic you run into and if you get stopped by horse and buggy on 75, which can happen.
True.
So, uh,
Well, I know I've been to a couple of the cities in Ohio. I know I've been to Cincy before, and it's got the Great American Ballpark. Have you ever been down that way? Did you ever go see
Cincy
the
a few
Reds play?
times. Yeah, long time ago.
They have some pretty good foods that are there. Some of those ballpark foods,
I know they have
but
something famous. I just don't remember what it's called, but I think it's got Fruit Loops on it. I'm looking up stadium food real quick. Well, it's tickets. So they have something called the Dragon Dog. They've got a bunk cake sundae, uh, a rookie cookie fry box, barbecue cone, which is a waffle cone with like pulled pork or shredded chicken with hot sauce on top of it. So they got a couple of nice things. Um,
I know that, and a lot of parks do this too. But they do the baseball helmet, and you can either put ice cream or nachos in it.
yep, yep, yep,
I know
yep.
that.
So
I thought that they had something famous there. I mean, the last time that I was there was a while ago. So I just remember I had a blueberry beer at one point, and you had the hot dogs and whatnot. But you know how like what is it, Milwaukee? I think it's Milwaukee. They have um, the Sunday Bloody Mary that's super huge. It's got the burger and the bacon and all the crap on it.
yep.
Does Ohio have anything similar to that?
I've been to Bloody Mary bars, but I haven't been to like the ballpark in a long time to be, yeah, that's a thing or not. So I wouldn't be able to answer that off the top of my head.
Okay. I do know, and maybe this could be something we can talk about later on as kind of um, maybe another session. But this kind of just popped into my head too because I also know that Ohio has some of these as well, and they've got the food challenges. And that might not be a bad thing to talk about, at least for one session. Kind of like the man versus food deal. but there's one in Ohio in Columbus where it's the a 28-inch mega meat pizza challenge.
Ooh.
And I know there's a couple other ones too. They got a burrito. They got this big ass pancake challenge. So maybe that's something we could talk about in another time after we get through the United States.
Yeah. Well, in fact, that you bring that up, there is a sandwich called the Terminator, which I'm going to
Okay.
screen share here. Do 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 boo boo. Now look at this monster of a meal.
Jesus.
Yeah, I see
What
cheese,
is on that?
ham, more cheese, burger, tomato, lettuce. Looks like some French fries on there. Onion. Those who want to know more about this, it appears that it was an episode of Man vs. Food that aired in 2008. So those of you who are into that kind of thing might be familiar with this sandwich already. I might actually try and do a YouTube search to see if this has been pulled up anywhere.
All right. So I looked it up just to see. So it consists of bun, mayo, lettuce, tomato, pickle, banana peppers, a 12-ounce burger, bacon, cheddar, another 12-ounce burger, mushrooms, onions, ham, mozzarella, and American cheese, and then the top bun.
Oh, that's
And they
so
put a
good.
pickle spear and a pile of fries. So I guess it's not an official challenge, but it was on Man versus Food. And you have unlimited, you can do it in one sitting, but there's nothing that you win besides just bragging rights.
Yeah. So I forget where it was, but there was a similar situation where it's like an unknown food challenge. It's not actually a food challenge.
Yeah.
And it was called their cardiac burger. And it was like 3 patties, a bunch of cheese, had some chili in there, and it was so good.
I don't know. I always think I can do these food challenges, but I don't think I'd be able to finish the majority of them.
Right.
And by majority, I mean like 99% of them.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, but
Yes.
speaking of sandwiches, I'd be remiss not to talk about this monstrosity right here.
What is that?
That's all corned beef.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So the Sliman's corned beef. Now I love me some corned beef, but that's a lot of corned beef. So that
Oh
is,
man.
yeah, yeah, that looks good.
And you can get that in Ohio?
Yeah, this is from downtown Cleveland, known as
Cleveland
Sliman's Restaurant.
rocks.
Yep. So, gonna stop the old screen share for a minute.
Well, the one more food challenge that I think I could probably do, even though it does sound a little heavy, is the 3 pancake challenge. And it's basically each pancake weighs about a pound, and it's the size of a steering wheel. You got 45 minutes to complete it.
Dude, that's 3 pounds of carbs.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about freaking pancakes, though, is that they're super heavy too.
Oh yeah.
So you think, oh yeah, this is not bad, but
No.
it expands in your stomach, and then you basically feel like you're gonna throw up.
Yeah. Yeah. No thanks. So
Well, I think we kind of hit some food, so I know we want to talk about some beer. So, what were some of the beers that you got?
so I just want to mention some of these breweries, and I've had beers from all of these breweries before. So I pulled up a top 10 list. I'm just going to name a couple that I think you can get most places. Rhinegas Brewery is in Ohio. I've had a couple of their beers. Maumee Bay Brew Pub. I do adore their beers.
Yeah, they have what are some of their beers that they've got? Is it crap. The one with the ship, the
That's Great Lakes
Fitzgerald,
Brewing
right?
Company, I think.
Oh, Great Lakes. Oh, okay. I've had Mommy though. What are some of the Mommy Bay ones?
I'm pulling that up right now. Glass Hopper, their IPA. Fallen Timbers Red Ale, Wild and Hazy. Tiramisu I've had, which is actually fairly good. It's a brown ale with hints of caramel and chocolate.
Okay.
The Total Eclipse Breakfast Stout is the one that we would both recognize from Mommy Bay.
Buckeye beer. Yeah, that breakfast stout looks really good. They got a dry Irish stout.
Mm-hmm. I know for sure you and I have definitely talked about Total Eclipse because it's one of our favorites.
Yeah.
Then if you look at Great Lakes Brewing
This,
Company,
the Supernova, it looks pretty good too. That Russian Imperial Stout.
yeah.
It's brand new in 2022. It's 11 ABV. Whew.
Oof.
We gonna get messed up if you have one of those.
Yep.
All right, what are some other ones that you were gonna point out?
Just the Mommy Bay ones, which is like the Edmund Fitzgerald. They have a Mexican lager with lime, the Elliot Ness. We got the Commodore Perry, which I know you and I both have seen. Let's see. Conway's Irish Ale. I know you and I have both seen. Those are the most common ones you're going to get on tap. And
Nice.
they distribute to, I guess they don't distribute to where you're at, but like Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Maryland, New York, New Jersey, Minnesota, Michigan, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia. Hold on one second. There's a Christmas beer that the wife likes that she gets from Great Lakes.
Oh man, it's not the it's something with the reindeer, isn't it?
I think there's reindeer on the thing, but it's not on tap right now because it's seasonal.
Yeah, because you would always put some cinnamon, right? Doesn't it get the cinnamon rim?
Yep. When you serve it on tap, it does.
Yeah, I remember that. That was always a good one too, a little festive.
Mm-hmm. I think it's time we move on to one of our favorite drinks, which is mead.
Yeah, and so this actually opened up after I moved out of Ohio, and I really wish I could have checked this out, but you've had it before, so it's in Maumee, and it's Four Fires Meadery.
Yes.
So what we've talked about mead before. Everybody knows that I brew it myself, and I've done a wide variety of flavors and sweet and champagne and all that stuff. But it looked like the menu is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, they have
And
an
you
awesome
you
menu.
have been there, right? Or have you gotten stuff from there?
I've gotten stuff from there on tap at a like boutique beer shop. So,
And you said that to get a growler is to have cheaper some of their stuff that they sell anyway, right?
yep. And these are like 64-ounce growlers. Like they're so nice.
Which is crazy because sometimes mead they sell them in 750 milliliter bottles, so you can get what, 4 glasses of wine, so you're looking at maybe 25 ounces, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting 64 ounces for cheaper,
Yes.
which is ridiculous.
Yes. So,
But what was the one that you got a 64 ounce of?
so I've gotten a few of them. One is like a triple berry blend that I don't remember the name of it. I've had an apple based blend. And then one that I do remember that the wife actually really liked was their cast iron skillet peach cobbler. which
Oh,
is a peach mead with cinnamon, vanilla, and lactose. So it's got like, it tastes like peach cobbler. Now, one
that
that
is
I
awesome.
haven't seen on tap anywhere that I'm extremely interested in trying is one called the Nutty Blue Fresser, which is a blueberry based mead with hazelnut, pistachio, and macadamia nut flavors. And then another one I
Yeah.
want to try is, it's known as My Morning Latte, which is a coffee mead with chocolate and vanilla meats combined.
Oh man, I have done a chocolate mead and I have yet to drink it because that stuff, it takes about a year for it to even ferment because of all the oils within the cocoa powder, and then you need at least another year after bottling it for that to even come to fruition. So I am November will be 2 years just about that I have done this chocolate mead, and I'll finally be able to drink it. So I'll report back later on. But oh man, I am so happy and waiting for this, but takes forever.
Yeah. So,
But it looks like they have some pretty good ones, though. I mean,
yeah.
let's see. They had one that's a cranberry, so cranberry and habanero,
Mm-hmm.
slow jams blackberry, uh, shogun barista,
Yep.
which is a nice semi-sweet, and they're all like 12%. This one's 14%. Like, yeah, you're gonna get put on your ass if you're drinking some of this stuff.
Yep. One that I think if I do find, I'm gonna pick up specifically for the wife is a blueberry mead that's made with fresh and local basil. And the reason for that is occasionally on Sundays we'll go to this restaurant and they do like a lemonade blueberry with basil, and she absolutely loves it. And if I can get that in 64-ounce mead, I think that would be great.
Yeah, man.
Another, because you had just mentioned like adding heat to stuff in their to go bottle, which is, this is a sweet mead at 11%. It is known as the Man Ghost, and that is pineapple mango mead that adds smoke and heat with ghost pepper flavors. Yeah. So, and shout out to just two clever names. Little Pink Lawn Chair Mead, 14%. It's raspberry, strawberry, and lemon mead. So I'm all for
Ooh.
that. And then Competitive Hugging, which is a 14% dry mead, which is dark cherry and rhubarb mead with orange peel, Genta root, and mugwort, aged in gin barrels. Now, my wife loves gin, so I'm thinking this might be right up her alley if I can ever find Competitive Hugging.
Well, I mean, you should call them up and be like, "Hey, do you have this on, you know, in
Well,
rotation?"
looking at their menu, they can do full pours, which are going to be 10 ounces, or you can do a flight. So being able to just try 4 or 5 different meads, on a flight would be
Yeah,
ideal.
that's the best way to try all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And usually flights are pretty cheap because you're only getting like 2 ounces.
Yeah. And also, for those of you interested in purchasing mead, they do have nationwide shipping. So,
Well, I'm jealous that you got to check that out and that it started afterwards because although I didn't start brewing mead until I came down to Texas, I was doing a lot of home brewing anyway, and I would have checked that out, and that would have been great to have.
yeah,
But, well, I mean, I think this kind of wraps up Ohio, doesn't it?
I believe so. So, what
So,
what where are we going to next?
is it Oklahoma?
Yeah, I believe you are correct.
Yeah. So Oklahoma next. So And surprisingly enough, I'm actually going to be there next weekend for a friend's graduation, so I can report back on some of the things that I have seen.
Sweet. So, well, with that being said, do you want to send us out?
Uh, yeah. So thanks for joining us for Ohio Part Two, and I am Professor Porkloin, and I'm signing off with my awesome co-host.
The Meat Viking. Let
And
us
we will
know if
see
you
you
pick
in
up
the
any of
next episode.
the mead from Four Fires and what you think of it. So we'll see you all in the next one.